Well, this week we had a big suicide bomber attempt, which we haven't had in many years, a suicide bomber. And this was a big one. And thank God it didn't happen.
Yeah, and also the hostage deal finally maybe the close to happen. We really hope.
We hope so. Well, let's talk about all this and everything else.
TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Hello.
Thank you guys so much for what you guys do here in the State of Israel by supporting this ministry. It is such a blessing. It is so beautiful the way that you send support. We're able to help people and give glory to the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you all for being a part of this. It's a way to witness to these people and show them the light that we all know. Praise God. So thank you so much. It is so true what Ola always says. You are making a difference in the statistics of 1 out of 3 children going to bed hungry every night here in the State of Israel. If you haven't been a part of this and you want to, there are links below all of our videos to the Patreon page and to the Support Us page. Or you can just go to your web browser and type in thegoldenreport.com. Go to the Support Us page there and find whichever way is best for you. So thank you all, and God bless you all for the support and the miracles that you're doing here in the State of Israel. Thank you so much. Also, while you're down there in the links, we have the link to the TGR News on the Telegram, where you get all of it up to date as it happens, when it happens. Right, sometimes you get it faster than the people here in Israel get it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
On Sunday night, a terrorist with a very large explosive in a backpack was walking around Tel Aviv looking for a place to kill as many Jews as possible. It looks like he wanted to go into a synagogue, so he stopped in front of it to get the explosives ready or something. This is all what it looked like, right? But exploded it by accident. It was a miracle that this large of an explosion did not kill many. It was a huge explosion. On the news, they are saying that the terrorist was from Samaria, and both Hamas and the Islamic Jihad, by the way, it can't be both of them, but both of them are taking responsibility. But many are saying that maybe he was from Iran, from somewhere else, maybe Lebanon. What is most worrying is that we thought we were finished with all this kind of suicide bombers. It was over 8 years since the last suicide bomber attempt, and even maybe 20 up to 18 to 20 years since we really had the big wave of suicide bombers.
Yes. As you said, it's a miracle. Just one Israeli was injured, moderately injured, and not many, because the explosive was so heavy and big that if it was exploded near to many people, it was a disaster.
It would have been so many.
It's really a miracle. Amen. It's really like
it really was.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Well, it's 18, 20 years. We were talking about this. It's been 18, 20 years since we've had suicide bombers. People talked about, like around Jerusalem, in the Gilo neighborhood, and other areas where we put up big walls, right, and checkpoints for the Arabs that live. And that was how we stopped the suicide bombers and stuff. That's when we built them, if you look at the history, and that's when suicide bombers sort of stopped. Finally, we got a hold of that.
Yeah.
We were talking, it did work there. It stopped those suicide bombers, but I don't think it was the right answer. The right answer wasn't just put a wall. The right answer was go in and take care of the problem.
Exactly.
Right? Because then you would have taken care of the problem for a longer period of time.
Yeah, it looks like Israel don't really take care of the root of the problem. We're always trying to put Band-Aids.
Band-Aids. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. That's exactly right.
Also this week, we had quite a few cars with explosives that it accidentally blew up on their way to their destination to make a terror attacks. This was a miracle in itself. These cars just exploded for no reason. Well, it's like I call it a job accident, right?
No apparent reason.
Yeah, no apparent reason. Only injuring the terrorists themselves involved in this. Even one of the roadside bombs in Jenin that the terrorists usually take used to attack the IDF trucks exploded on him itself.
Yeah. So like you say, and it's it's amazing. They just for no reason we know of. It just we know the reason, but they just exploded on the way to where they were going to kill Jews. Praise the Lord for miracles, man.
But this again shows the very alarming and concerning thing that they try to do the explosive bombers coming back. The suicide.
It is something we're looking at. It looks like it's coming back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But look at all these attempts in 1 week, and miraculously, literally miraculously, this stuff is just being taken care of.
Yes.
I've said it before. The Israeli Iron Dome is given to us by God Himself. I'm 100% positive of it. No man on earth is responsible, really. There are men on earth that like to take credit, but it was God given. And the proof is exactly these moments where this is the spiritual Iron Dome at work. You see cars coming in one after the other, man with a backpack in a busy town of Tel Aviv. He's already in the town. And these things are happening. And when Israel, no Israeli security forces or armed citizens has done anything to intervene and stop it, but the Lord stops it all. And we don't have casualties, we don't have deaths, we don't have, praise God.
Yes.
We got to stop and recognize and give Him glory for these things.
Yes.
It's very important.
Yes.
It's so important. On Monday night, the Israeli security forces worked together and were able to retrieve the bodies of 6 killed hostages from Gaza. These precious souls were known to be alive as late as March, meaning that at some point during their captivity, the Gazan citizens, and that's what it was, I'm telling you, that's just the facts, because we know that was holding them, decided to murder them. Now, I say it was citizens because we have seen that it is the citizens who are holding our hostages, not where not much Hamas left, actually. But even from the beginning, every time we talk to the hostages, the ones that came out, the ones that we've rescued, they're all with citizens. Those innocent. I'm not trying to be ugly or anything, but those innocent citizens that everyone talks about that are not Hamas, that's who's holding our hostages.
Yes.
And then they killed them.
It's kind of confusing because you don't know how to call should you call the citizens Hamas because they are, or should you call Hamas the citizens because they are?
Yes.
They're kind of involved.
Right.
Also, you were in the IDF, and when you kill them, Hamas operators, they usually wear regular citizen clothes.
Oh yeah, they don't have
uniform.
They don't have no uniform.
And they take a RPG and start just shooting.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Their uniform is their face that hatred and where they try to kill you. That's their uniform.
Yeah. Well, but just few of the hostages already been after the autopsy, and it's a public information that shared that they just had a bullet in the head.
They just shot him in the head, executed him,
cold blood executed
months ago, and just kept in their bodies. Anyway.
Yeah. We need to talk about the hostages. Let's talk about the hostages and the deal that is closer than ever to be made. We have Egypt and Biden once again singing the same tone, right, of the terrorists.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's true.
But it's true.
Both are telling Israel to make the deal when we are agreeing to the deals that Hamas is one that denying the deal. We agreeing to the deal. Hamas said no, and then Biden, Egypt, Qatar, they're all pressuring Israel again
to make the deal.
To make the deal that we agreed to.
Yeah.
So even though we are closer than ever to making this deal, it still seems far off before anything will happen.
Yeah.
Please pray for the hostages and their speedy return.
Amen. Amen. Yes, that's something we should be praying for daily, actually.
Especially now when we know they've been killed in captivity.
We've talked about it. We don't. Well, now that 6 has come back, the number's 109, the official number. They don't have 109 hostages. I know they don't. But we need to start having a real conversation. Get all the hostages that they do have home, dead or alive, and they probably still have some alive. I would imagine they do, especially Sinwar, if he's still in Egypt. If he's still in Gaza. He's probably surrounded himself with at least a few live ones for protection. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
But definitely not 109. You know,
Yeah.
but we need to get this resolved. It's almost a year now. Yeah, poor souls. Somehow, without war being completely off, going off on full out war,
Yeah.
full blown war.
Yeah.
The Lebanese border has been able to escalate more and more every week. This week, on Tuesday, Israel attacked in 5 different locations that Hizbollah had weapons stored, big weapon storage areas. And Israel has carried out airstrikes all week and as deep into Lebanon as I think we've ever been. It's like super deep, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that area?
Baka.
Baka. Yeah, not like Baka.
Baalbek. Yeah, but Beka.
Yeah, so we've been really going after them this week. This caused Hizbollah to fire more than 200 rockets on Wednesday alone. Hundreds and hundreds of rockets this week, but 200 on Wednesday alone.
Yeah.
This is, like we're saying, it's strange how it keeps escalating, but somehow not escalating to war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have noticed that we still haven't been attacked by Iran yet, and it seems more and more like it's just not going to happen this time. This escalation with Lebanon should have been some sort of trigger for Iran to go ahead and make their attack.
Yeah.
Seeing how this attack never came, it would appear that it is just not coming.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, we don't know. We cannot say.
There's something. It's always just means they have a different plan. Everyone has it. It's not like they become friends of ours. They haven't changed their mind.
Friends of Zion.
They haven't changed their mind, but they're just not attacking now, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I think that came to a surprise to most people that Iran didn't attack this time.
Yeah.
I think most people are surprised by that, and this thing with Lebanon, just as you said. It should have been the trigger if they were just about to do it. All these crazy escalations should have been the one. But oh well.
Yeah.
Well, finally, the people here in Israel are beginning to see the IDF's plan in Gaza. We are seeing how Israel is breaking Gaza into 3 parts from north to south. We are making security routes from east to west in order to be able to have access in the future to stop the inevitable attacks that are going to come from Gaza again. The most southern route is the Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia in Hebrew. It's just sounds like Philadelphia, right? Route on the Egypt. It's the route right on the Egyptian border where we have found almost 200, about 184 tunnels. Most of them are tunnels that go from Gaza all the way into Egypt.
And some of them are big enough to contain a truck full of weapons. Probably.
And yet Egypt still feels like they need to pressure us.
Yeah, and Egypt pressured Israel to agree to Hamas' demand to withdraw from Philadelphia Road. Right? So we know why Egypt do that. Egypt earned crazy amount of money from all this smuggling of weapons through all those years.
And drugs, by the way.
And
drugs. Lots of drugs and weapons.
But they're Muslims. They're not supposed to smuggle drugs,
they're very
right?
good. They're very good. Well, you got anything you want to add?
That's all, basically. Yeah, I'm really, praying for the hostages. I'm really praying that this deal will finally happen. Will happen. We actually kind of, like you said, finish in Gaza, so we can make more. We'll be more flexible and stop for a while and do like ceasefire.
Let's just bring these hostages home. This would be we need to bring the hostages home. Whatever's left, we need to resolve. The issue in Gaza cannot move forward until we resolve the issue with the hostages, and it's not going to be a quick problem to fix, because even if tomorrow morning Gaza gives us back all of our hostages that they have, it's not going to be 109. So people don't understand that yet here in Israel. Israel has etched into everyone's mind the certain number of hostages, names, the people, every specific people that Gaza has.
Yeah.
And they don't have 109. So when we get them all, when we get everything they have back, let's say it's 50, that leaves 59 on the list that who knows where they're at. Israelis are going to it'll take them a while to have to start dealing with that. Because how do you trust Hamas?
Yeah.
How do you trust Hamas that they really did give everyone back?
Yeah.
Right? But they probably did, or maybe they didn't, but 100% I'm telling you they don't have 109. It's going to be difficult to resolve this issue in the future, and we need to get it started already, because the more we delay it, the more we tell everyone 109, 109, 109, the harder it's going to be to say it wasn't 109.
Yes. And also we have to finish with Gaza, because we really have to stop with those excuses that we cannot handle two fronts and we don't do the south, the north. We also have to really deal with Samaria.
Yeah.
So, and get...
Well, we need to go, after this thing with Gaza, we just need to get people in charge that are willing to put their neck out and do what's right for the state of Israel.
Yes.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Until next week.
Shabbat Shalom.
God bless.